Hey, Squad. Welcome to today's episode of the Squad Podcast. It's your girl, your coach, Coach Tocha Moore, coming at you for a new episode. How you doing? How you been? Have we reached our goals, accomplished everything that we said we're going to? If we have, you know what we do over here. We're going to give ourselves a big old hug and love on you. And if not, that's okay. Clap it up, clap it down. New day, new slate, new week, new month, new minute, new hour. However you want to look at it, you can start again. So I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm going to do my best to let my voice do what it does. If we fluctuate a little bit, that's just the reality. I know you guys probably see the Band-Aid and you're like, hey, what's going on? It's actually surgical tape. I am 4 days post-op from a total thyroidectomy. And so I decided that on this episode, I'm going to be honest, real, and raw about my health journey and what life looks like for me now, the reason that I had it, and all the things leading up to the surgery. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today is not about pushing through. It's about being open, honest, and transparent. I am 4 days post-op from a total thyroidectomy. And I just want to talk about life and what's happening and what this season is teaching me. Real time, no filter. Let's get into it. So here's my new battle woman, guys. Okay. My friend was like, oh, a necklace can hide it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hide it. It's the truth. I had to have my thyroid removed. For those of you who may or may not know, your thyroid is a gland that controls a lot of bodily functions and produces hormones that we need in our body. And so now I do not have one. I had to have it completely and totally removed. What led up to the surgery a couple years ago, actually pre-2018, I found out that I had what are called nodules on my thyroid, which are little masses, and they can grow. So I had a biopsy on it. Never really got the results. Come to find out I had hyperthyroid, but was never given any information on it or not. So let me tell you guys, if you get tests, ask questions after. Hey, what are the results? I was young, didn't know. What are the results? What happened? I never asked, never got mentioned anymore, switched doctors. So somewhere along the line, it got lost in the shuffle, and I did not know that I had a hyperthyroid. So there's that. I've had a hyperthyroid since 2018, which means that my body was overproducing hormones, which is why your girl couldn't lose no weight. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So years have passed. I feeling very tired all the time. I'll be honest, I chalk that up to I'm an on-the-go mom, got a competitive cheerleader, a competitive dancer, like no big deal. That's where I was. And so out of breath a lot of the time. I have asthma. Always told I'm anemic. Like there was an explanation for everything that I was feeling. So I did not think to tell my doctor. I was telling my friends, like, I feel like I just can't get my mojo. I'm extra tired a lot of the time and I can't really figure out why. Change my vitamins, supplement, all kind of things I was doing. A lot of brain fog was happening, but again, I'm getting older. So I thought, I'm getting a little older. Maybe that's it. I'm starting to forget things. That's okay, comes with getting older. And so I had a reason for like everything. And at the same time, I just knew like something really wasn't right. So I ended up going back to my primary physician, the one that I had previously who had moved. He came back. And so he asked, when's the last time you had your thyroid checked? Because he did, my physical and checked my neck. He was like, I feel like your glands feel a little swollen. And I was like, oh, no big deal, whatever. But he told me, he would suggest that I get it tested. And I was like, yep, not doing that. Because for those of you who don't know, to get it tested, it's called a fine needle aspiration. And that's where they stick needles in your neck and take samples to see what's going on with the nodules. So the first step was actually an ultrasound. We did the ultrasound. They had grown, I think, from the previous time that I got them checked. And so they wanted to do the fine needle aspiration. I was a definitive no, not doing it. Okay, I'm not doing it. I told my husband I would never get it done again. I told the doctor I'm not scheduling the appointment. All the things, I'm going to be honest, like I said, about where I was. I wanted no parts of it. And so I told him no. Y'all, I'm a God girl through and through. And as soon as I sat down in the car after saying no to the doctor, so clearly the gentle nudge of the Holy Spirit was like, you have to get it done. And I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to. It's not fun. It hurts. And so I told my husband, I feel like I have to get it done. So they did the test, which is the nodules. They take needles, take samples to see, and it's to determine if they're cancer or not. And so they did not know. My test came back inconclusive. It didn't give them a number either way as to if it was cancer or not. And so, but it looked suspicious according to my doctor. So they referred me to a hospital about 2 hours away from where I live in USC. And so I went there, met with a thyroid doctor. I don't want to say the name wrong, at the cancer center there. And she explained to me my test was inconclusive. They really don't know. And asked me like symptoms. I'm like, for tired, all these things. And I said, but I'm starting to cough a lot, like for no reason. Like I'm choking. I will not have drunk anything or eaten anything. And I just find myself choking. And she was like, oh, okay. So they did another ultrasound. On the left side, the nodules had grown enough that they were pressing against my trachea, which was why I was coughing and choking without explanation. And so she said, okay, we're going to err on the side that the left side has to come out because my trachea was out of line. It was pressing up against it and making it out of line. So I was going to lose the left side. You can live with just one side of your thyroid. So she listened to my records. We leave she's like, I'm going to do some digging to see, what the test results were last time. She calls, my husband and I leave. She calls us and she says, you have hyperthyroid. And I was like, what? She's like, it's in your chart since 2018. You're not on medicine? And I'm like, no, I did not know that. And she was like, okay, because let me go back. Before I left the office, I had decided I thought that I was going to keep my right side. I was debating if I was going to keep the right side of my thyroid or not, because your body will adjust to just one side of it. And so I felt like maybe because I wouldn't have to be on the medicine, hopefully, and there were nodules on the right side as well. So there was still that. We didn't know if they were cancerous or not. And the only way to see if they were would be to do the test again. I did not want to do the test again. So, the doctor said I could play around with the idea and decide and call back and let them know if I still wanted to try to keep the right side. So when she calls to tell me that I have a hyperthyroid, she says, if you decide to keep the right side, we're going to have to test it to see if it is the overproducing side. And if it is, you're going to have to be on medicine for that. Okay. To me, that was divine intervention. That was the Lord to me saying. The doctor was okay. She was at peace with me getting the total thyroid removal. I told my husband, I feel like that's the route I wanted to go, but I was still going to continue to pray about it and have, my circle of friends praying. And because, again, ideally, I didn't want to have to be on medicine for the rest of my life if I didn't have to. And so, but there was also the possibility of, hey, Kier, hey, at the house recording podcast. It's okay. You're on your way home? Okay. I will see you when you get here. All right. Love you. Love you too. So the goal was for me to be able to keep it. It was divine intervention. I feel the Lord was saying no for me just to have it removed because they would have had to test it and do all the things. So I'm like, okay. And I still had the option to change my mind if I wanted to. They went ahead and scheduled the surgery for it to be done. But if I changed my mind, I could call them back. So I just had a peace about it that, okay, God, this is what you're saying, just to have it removed because there was all still nodules, didn't know if they were cancer, potential of having to go back and have surgery again if they grew. And I was like, okay, Lord, I'm just going to trust that you're telling me to get the total thyroidectomy. So living life, doing all the things leading up to surgery. It was about a month later, and I'm 4 days post-op, if I did not say that. I had the surgery Thursday. I think it's 4 days, right? 4 days? 5 days. 5 days post-op, 5 days post-op. So mentally leading up to the surgery, I was back and forth, honestly. Like, what do I do? Should I not? Spiritually, I trusted God with it all. And I knew that it was in his hands. I was in his hands. Even though it's scary, to be under anesthesia. It was my first surgery. Well, I had C-sections with my daughters, but I was awake for those. This was my first one where, I had to be put to sleep. And so there was that I was dealing with mentally, and emotionally. I think I was a little bit up and down, not just because of me, but 2 of my other family members had a lot of health things going on, are still dealing with them now. And so I think mentally I was struggling to process what I was going through because I was looking at them and what they were going through. And so I don't think I really took a second to just sit with, your life is going to be different. It was just like, okay, you got to get the surgery. No big deal. Keep moving. And so, and I think, and in the midst of that, we lost a really good friend. And so it was just a lot going on. And I finally found myself on the bathroom floor, just boohoo crying, because I was just trying to live life like I normally would and do the things that I normally would, and not allowing myself to process that life was going to look different for me, that I was really going to have a major surgery. I was really going to lose a major organ. And so now I find myself in a place of rest and surrender, because all of these things were out of Tasha's control. And there was nothing that I could have done differently that would have changed any of this. I'm so thankful for my doctor being persistent. I'm so thankful for the gentle nudge of the Holy Spirit. And I'm thankful that this girl was obedient to what I knew or what I felt that was the direction that God wanted me to go in. And my husband was absolutely amazing. Um, and so the total thyroidectomy is where they remove your total thyroid. And the reason that I needed it was because that I had nodules, which are masses on my thyroid, and they could either be benign or malignant. Let me go ahead and say right now, I still do not know if they were benign or malignant. I will find out in about another 2.5 weeks, because they had to send my thyroid off or the nodules off. I don't know exactly, but they had to send it off for testing. So I still don't know if they were cancerous or not, because I know you may be like, well, wait, was it or was it not? Don't know. And so leading up to the surgery, I was just honestly all over the place, mentally, spiritually. I trusted God, and I knew that I'm in his hands. And it was still a little scary, y'all. Let me be honest, going to have surgery, and thought about my husband, my daughters, and all the things that come with anesthesia. My family has a difficult time with anesthesia. My mom does. My oldest daughter had a difficult time waking up. So mentally, a lot of that just playing in my head, honestly. Like, what if you don't wake up? And I was like, Lord, I pray this isn't the end, but if it is, like, my family and all the things. So all of those things as a wife and as a mom and just as a human being were going through my brain, honestly. And so that's where I was. I felt like I was just on a roller coaster. Some days I was like, all right. And then other days I was like, okay, whoa, I'm a little. And so I really started diving deep into like, okay, God has not given me the spirit of fear. I am not supposed to be afraid. And I am a little bit. And I trust you, Lord. And I know it's in your hands. But the natural human side of me was struggling, y'all. If I'm honest, I was. I was struggling with, I trust you, Lord, and I'm still a little bit afraid. And so I really had to sit with the human side of you is going to feel that little bit of anxiousness is what I want. I was like, I'm not afraid, but I'm feeling something. And then I just had to come to the scripture of be anxious over nothing. And so I just had to sit and say, I am feeling anxious about all that's going to be going on. And I'm anxious about the unknowns. Like, what is this medicine gonna do? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say what I said to the doctor. Am I gonna gain a bunch of weight? Was the first question that I had, truthfully. Because I'm like, I'm just getting to a place where I'm starting to lose a little bit. I'm not trying to be on no medicine that's gonna make me gain no weight. Okay, excuse me. That's truthfully what I was. And then what's the life adjustment gonna look like? I now have to take a pill every single day. Y'all, anybody who knows me knows I forget to take a vitamin, okay? And so my husband immediately was asking, what happens if she doesn't take it? Because he knows his wife. And she was like, a couple days, she'll feel a little like, a week, she don't know. Any longer than that, absolutely not. She can go to cardiac arrest. Oh, it's no option not to take the medicine. And my husband was like, oh, okay. So him and my daughters every day are like, did you take medicine? My friend bought me a pill case, and it is beside my bed. And so immediately in the morning, so then I have to take that pill. I also have to take a vitamin D pill However, I cannot take the thyroid and the vitamin D pill at the same time, or the calcium at the same time. I have to allow myself some time in between the thyroid medication that I have to take before I can take the next pill, So y'all, life is new for this girl right here with taking pills, and I have timers in my phone so that I don't forget. My daughter so graciously the other day, I think I was in the bathroom, came out, and she was like, take your calcium, because my alarm had gone off. And so that's my new world. I have to have, right now, until it gets, I think, a routine. For me, I have alarms in my phone that remind me to take the medicine that I have to take. And the healing process, honestly, has been an adjustment for me. I'm not a sit down type of person, and I've had to honor that I need to sit down. And that's been a little difficult. It has been very rewarding and refreshing for me to allow people in my life to do, to be who we are, which is the hand and feet of Jesus here on earth. And so I'm learning that rest is important, and allowing people to love on you is as well. And so I'm learning to receive, not just give all the time. I'm so thankful for my community that has been praying for me and asking, do we need food and how we're doing? And my husband had to go out of town on a business trip, and just checking on me and my daughters and making sure that we're good. I'm so grateful and thankful for that. And so what I'll be honest with, I tried to do too soon was try to do all the things that I normally would do. I came home and was sitting up and thought I'd bounce back quickly. And I tried to, sitting on the chair and walking and do. And man, that next day, y'all, I was like, oh, wait a minute, what is this? And it was called, you just had a major surgery. You need to sit down. Your body needs rest. And so my body and the good Lord above said, no, ma'am, girl, not right now. Have a seat. And so I did. The next day, I sat in the bed all day. My oldest daughter came in there. My youngest came for a little bit. She was like, yeah, I'm not watching these movies with y'all. So we sat and we watched movies all day. I did the same thing yesterday, and we have done that for the most part today as well. So to my squad sisters out there that are so used to going, please hear me when I say, don't make the season of rest come because you had to have some life altering moment. That's what happened for me. Don't let that be the reason that you sit down and watch a movie. Don't make that be the reason that your children are like, you need to sit down because you had something life altering. Okay. Honor the fact that you cannot. Continuing to go all of the time is not a sustainable model. It's not. So my hope is that you can relate and you honor when you need to sit down and rest and not do and see the laundry and fold it later. I have 2 baskets beside my bed and one in the dryer. And I may get to folding them and I may not, because I can lay in my bed and fold. Okay, so I'm trying to do things. Sometimes we don't need a miracle, we need margin. I needed the margin to give myself permission to say, sit down. And it's okay. It don't make you weak or any of the things that I was telling myself. Like, I should be able to bounce back. It's not that big. The scar's not that big. What's going on inside my body is, though. I'm so thankful for the people that showed up, and they're reminding me, sit down. My friends FaceTimed me, and I was sitting at my island chopping potatoes with my little chopper, and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, sitting, chopping. And they were like, no, how about sit on the chair and do nothing? But I was making meal prep, y'all. Little things, a little bit at a time. But I want to say it's so good to be on the receiving end of love. Allow yourself to do that. Be on the receiving end of love sometimes. I'm such a giver, and I just give. And I had to remind myself, you deserve to receive what you give. People were sending cash apps, and I was like, no. And they were like, yes. And so I had to honor the fact that I need to let them be the hands and feet of Jesus. The hand and feet, not feet, I'm sorry. And so I think it was hard for me because I am the strong one, or at least that's who I believe myself to be. And so it was hard for me to be vulnerable enough to allow someone close enough to say, let me help you. That is the truth. Sometimes when we are the strong one, it is hard for us to allow someone close enough to help us. Let people help you. Do you hear me, my squad sister? Let someone help. God laid it on their heart to do it. Allow them that. Don't make them miss their blessing because of your stubbornness. And that's what I had to tell myself. Do y'all hear me? Don't make somebody miss the blessing that God has for them for being obedient to what he laid on their heart because you want to be stubborn and don't want to accept. And he has sent me so much comfort through my community. Just the prayers, and one of my sweet sisters from church connected me with another lady who had a total thyroidectomy. And so I'm in conversation with her about, like, hey, what her journey was like, what I can expect, because I don't know. And maybe my journey will be different, but it's kind of cool to know somebody's already been through what I'm going through. to know that there's a sister that says, hey, I have knowledge of that. Let me help you. That's why we have the Squad podcast. Hey, I've been through that. Let me help you. And let me tell you what it looks like on the other side. And so I'm thankful. If you never slow down, how will you know who's willing to slow down and sit with you? So I had to take a minute to slow down and look at all the beautiful people that I've had in my community this whole time that I just didn't get the opportunity to be there for me. And so I'm so thankful for them and their love and kind words and prayer. But I had to take a second and sit down so I could see all the people that were willing to sit with me. What God is revealing to me in this stillness is that rest is important and that everything is not going to go the way that I planned it. Because I was like, Lord, I pray no surgeries. I'm going with every body part that I came in with in good health. Well, nope, you're not. You're missing one, girlfriend. And that's okay. And that even in the moments that I did not understand, and some I still don't, God is with me. He's leading and guiding. He's protecting. He's growing. And he's showing me things. Rest is obedience, not laziness. I'm learning to let go of control, which I never really had anyway, and trusting in God's timeline and his plan. And thankful for the healing process. Not a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of soreness, and a whole lot of tiredness, and a lot of coughing, and that hurts. I'm not going to lie and say that does not hurt. But I'm learning to let go of control and surrendering to God's plan and his timeline. And right now it looks like rest. And that's pretty cool. And I don't know what my new normal is going to look like. Right now it's a lot of fatigue. And I go post-op in a couple of days. And so we'll see what happens after that. I don't know if they're going to adjust my medicine or if it just is going to take time. I don't know. But what I do know is God is in control of it all, and I'm in his loving hands. And until then, I'm going to allow myself time to rest. I can walk up the flight of stairs, and then I got to sit down. That's the truth. I can walk out of the bedroom and do a few things, and then I got to sit down. And that's just where I am. And that's okay. And I don't know what the new normal looks like yet. And I'm excited to see, so that one day I'll be able to share, Lord willing, my journey with somebody else of what life looks like after, and if you have to have any thyroid removed. So the lessons that I'm learning, I can't hustle and heal at the same time. I tried, and it didn't work. Rest is not optional, it's spiritual. It's part of what you need to get better, to heal. And that's all kinds of things, different things that we go through in life. You need to take time to rest and process the emotions that you're feeling. My body is a temple. It's not a machine that's just going to keep going and going and going and going and doesn't never need to be fixed or any of the things. And that God is trustworthy in him. And I'm reminded of all my life he has been faithful. Come on in. And all my life he has been so, so good. And I'm reminded of that song in this season. He's good. His goodness is running after me, even in the unknown. So if you're listening and you are in a season of healing, physical, emotional, spiritual, listen to your body. Listen to your doctors. Stop telling them people they don't know what they're talking about. They do. They have a degree to prove it. Are they going to get everything right? No. Because they definitely missed some things with me. And it was also because of my description. Oh, yeah, I'm tired, but it's because of this. It's because of that. Instead of just saying, these are the things that I'm feeling right now. Why? What's going on? Can we get this test done? I'm learning to ask questions about different kinds of tests. I didn't know that they wouldn't have seen anything going on in my thyroid with a normal testing that they do to check your blood. I didn't know that. So asking, are there other kind of tests that we can do because I'm still feeling blah, blah, blah. And then I just want to encourage you to lean on the people that you need to in your community. If they're there and they want to help, let them help. I'm so thankful for my husband. My daughters have been amazing. They've been making sure I got something to drink, something to eat, helping me meal prep and all the things. So I'm so thankful that they have been driving. I've been chauffeured, which is kind of cool, right? They've been driving me around. And so I'm just so thankful for my family, my friends, my church family, and everyone who's reached out and checked on me and just made sure I was okay. I'm so grateful and thankful. So if you take anything from this episode, I would want it to be to listen to your body and trust what you're feeling and share it with your doctor, share it with the physician in your life so that hopefully it's not as long of a journey, because I probably could have had this done before if I would have known, but I didn't, or at least have been on medicine for the hyper side. And there was a lot of things that happened in between there that I'm like, oh my gosh, now that makes sense why that happened. It was my thyroid, and I just didn't know enough about it. So ask questions when you don't know. It's okay. Ask them. They're happy to explain. I'm so thankful that now I'm asking questions, and everyone's been so amazing with explaining it to me. So here's my new jewelry. I can't take this off for this about another week, I think, when I go back to the doctor. But I'm so thankful and so grateful to be navigating on the other side. Again, don't know what it's going to look like. If you've had a total thyroidectomy or even partial, I would love to hear your story. I would love to hear how you're doing after post-op and what life's looking like for you, because I'm learning and trying to read and dissect what parts I need to, listen to and what I don't. I did read that fatigue was a part of it. So I was like, okay, because I was kind of wondering, like, man, I just feel really tired a lot. And so I would love to hear like how it's going for you and what you've gone through. And even if you have some regimens that have worked for you, I'm trying to eat cleaner and hoping that will help pick up some of my energy. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm so thankful. The thing that I'm learning the most is to honor my body and rest that I need, and that I can trust God with every part of everything that I'm going through, because He's always right there with me in the middle of it all, and His goodness is always running after me. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm sure I'll be talking about it again as I go through the journey, but I wanted to be honest. Just a few days after my surgery, I said that's the episode that I'm going to do, just to share with y'all, because I didn't talk about it much. I don't like to share things like that, but that's what we do here. We share where we are, and the truth is I just had my thyroid removed, and it's a new season in life for me, and it looks different. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, squad. I love y'all, and I will see y'all later. Bye.